to grossly undersimplify things. Major protests are going on in Hong Kong because they want from under China, and China is not letting that happen. The Houston Rockets GM, Daryl Morey, sent out a rocket of his own with a tweet in support of Hong Kong. China saw this tweet and was like, what the f***?
Stay in your lane.
Houston, we have a problem. Within hours, multiple Chinese businesses cut their ties with Houston, including the Chinese broadcaster Tencent and the CBA, whose president so happens to be Houston Rockets' own Yao Ming.
Oh, we have come full circle.
Millions are angry, hundreds of millions of dollars are at stake, and this instantly becomes an international headline. Hello? Yeah, NBA, it's the US and China here. What do you have to say about this? Adam was like, oh, this ought to fix everything, and sends out 2 tweets, one in English and one in Mandarin. The English one says, recognize that Morey's views have deeply offended many in China, which is regrettable. While the Mandarin tweet read, extremely disappointed in Morey's inappropriate statement. No doubt he severely hurt the feelings of the CN fans. Both countries read their own statement, then they Google Translate each other's, and they were like,
What the f?
Are you seriously playing the fence on this? The US was like, how are you not going to back Morey and his beliefs in human rights in Hong Kong? And China was like, how are you gonna let your employee talk bad about us? There needs to be discipline. Adam was then like, oh, okay, fine. China, we are not going to discipline our employees over their right to freedom of speech. China was like, oh, word? It's like that? So it was like, yeah, that's how we do it over here. China was like, all right, you know that like $4 billion we're supposed to give you? Yeah, let's go ahead and put that on hold. So now it went from China not televising any Houston Rockets games to China not televising any NBA games in general. The media was like, well, this makes things interesting because 51% of the money goes to the players. So you could say it kind of boils down to human rights or getting the bag. Hey, Steve, we know you're woke. What do you got to say about Daryl Morey's tweet? No comment. US NBA fans lose their shit over this. Trump gets wind of Kerr's reaction and was like, haha, Steve, you a bitch. Steve was like, oh, geez, our lack of leadership in office is troubling. And NBA fans were like, nah, Steve, he was right, you a bitch. A few players show support for Hong Kong, but most of them refuse to comment on the issue. So now you got the NBA's social integrity going down the toilet. Hong Kong protesters get kicked out of NBA preseason games. Somewhere in the middle of this, Ben Simmons hits a 3. And just when you think the internet couldn't get any spicier, LeBron comes out of nowhere with a haymaker to Morey saying, Morey was misinformed. Everybody in the US and Hong Kong was like, what the f***, LeBron? LeBron, you a sellout. Laker prices drop. Hong Kong burns LeBron's jersey. Space Jam 2, yeah, no one's looking for that anymore. And now LeBron's social legacy that he has built over the years is on the chopping block. He tries to save this by throwing out a few tweets of his own, but the damage is already done. Damn, that's like the equivalent of blowing a 3-1 lead.